this is a major fraud. 712 crores is the estimate that the police have now made of this fraud. I have with me Hyderabad Police Commissioner, Mr. C.V. Anand. First of all, tell us the ramifications. How many people? 15,000 people? And you say it could actually run into several thousand more.
That's just our estimate, 15,000 from the cybercrime portal, which is there, but national portal. But it could go to any number. In fact, one of my officers was saying it may cross 50,000. So the number is not known. It's all over the country. People who have got trapped with this type of investment fraud, and they.
What is the kind of profile of these people? Because from what I understand, these people are being conned, asking them to complete very simple sounding tasks like writing a Google review or liking a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's actually quite surprising and shocking that even highly paid software employees, professionals, have lost 82 lakhs. I mean, the moment we question them, how did you, with so much of qualification, education and expertise at your field, how did you get into this? They just said that we wanted to understand the mentality and the psychology, psychological aspect which goes into this. So it's quite amazing how this entire game these traps are designed. That's what these Chinese who are operating it from maybe Beijing or Shanghai, they seem to be having a huge research team, which plays on the minds of the gullible investors.
So designed very carefully, thinking about human psychology, how the money can be defrauded, and what kind of lure. Because in the earlier generation, we saw loan apps during the time of COVID when everyone needed money. Yes. And now they are telling you can double your money with small investments, and then you get lured into it.
Yes. Initially, we get a message. What the basics are that we get a message. While we're just sitting in the office, we get a message saying you could earn a few hundreds of rupees, thousands of rupees. If we just express interest and click that link, we enter into a group, a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group. There you see lots of others sharing news about how they have won so many prizes, and they have crossed 5 tasks and they've got about 10 lakh rupees, and all messages are, actually all these messages are planted. The people who have designed this app are also sending these messages just to lure these investors here.
One is, of course, a huge amount of money that the public is losing. Second is the worrying aspect that there were people in Dubai who were actually remotely handling bank accounts, layers of bank accounts through which this money was actually moving.
Yeah, it's a huge link right from China, the basic Indian citizen investor here, right up to the top fraudsters sitting in China. Once the investment is made, there's another group of people who were called to Lucknow. There they spent 3 months. They were made to prepare the fake documents, the KYC papers which are required for opening fake accounts. They opened 65 fake accounts there, and then also 33 fake shell companies. That is what is surprising. The register of companies, I don't know what is the procedure. Is it so easy to open a company? So 33 companies like that were opened. And then the first part of the fraud was 48 bank accounts into which 584 crore has been moved and then siphoned off. Then the second part was 128 crores into these 65 accounts. Now, this aspect is interesting, where the main brain of the Indian part are these two brothers, Prajapati brothers.
From Gujarat.
From Ahmedabad. So they are the ones who played a major role. They have a crypto wallet called Trons, and on the basis of that, the INR, the investment which comes in the form of INR after all the fraud, that has to be converted into USDT, which is the standard for cryptocurrency. So their wallet is the most important thing. They use this wallet. Then they have people in Dubai sitting there who have these cool apps called CoolKit and AirDride, through which they can access the OTPs, which are whenever you have to do a bank transaction, OTPs are sent. So those OTPs are accessed remotely from Dubai, sitting in Dubai. And with
So
that,
Indian bank accounts were being operated from Dubai remotely using this technology, and that's something which is quite frightening now.
it is quite frightening. And this was done. We asked them why have gone to this level. They said because Indian police is arresting people. They don't want to get arrested. They don't want to come under the preview of law. So they are now using these remote access apps through which OTPs can be accessed. And then from there, once the Indian rupees is converted into USDT and cryptocurrency, then it is transferred from here to Dubai. And those people sitting in Dubai, they also have wallets, crypto wallets, through which finally the money reaches. At every stage, there is commission for everyone. The Prajapatis get 3% of the total commission. They must have earned about over 3 crores in the last 2 months. The Dubai people, they get 10 rupees on each rupee which, USDT which is converted. So the earnings are huge just sitting at
The incentive for this fraud is huge. But the most worrying aspect seems to be that you have actually been able to link this up to Hezbollah, the Lebanese terror group.
What happened is once we got to that stage of investigation, we referred the matter to the National Cybercrime Coordination Center, which is under
the Union Home Ministry.
Which is under the MHA. And we got a report from there where in a diagram which shows that the trans wallet of the Prajapatis is linked to one wallet called I7K. And that is showing transactions from accounts which are flagged by crypto agencies to be terror accounts. And one of them has turned out to be the Hezbollah account. So they are already flagged by crypto agencies, cryptocurrency agencies, and there are from and to transactions from those accounts to 2-3 other accounts and then to this account. So that is something worrying us, and we have immediately informed the NIA. We have informed the IB. They are now at our cybercrime office, and we are busy studying the entire thing.
So one aspect, of course, is the citizen aspect, and then the international terror aspect and money moving all there.
Yeah, what we need to understand is this money which goes can go anywhere. It may go to into the pockets of these fraudsters sitting in China, or it may go to any terrorist organization, or for narcotics supply here and there throughout the world.
So that's really frightening. So that's the picture that we're getting out of Hyderabad. Great unraveling actually by your team. Thank you for doing that. And now the Commissioner was sharing with us that not just the cybercrime unit of the MHA, but also the Enforcement Directorate and also the IB also now NIA. All of them are now into this investigation because one case of fraud becoming something that is linked to international terror as well, and perhaps narcotics. All that that's unraveled by the Hyderabad cybercrime team.